What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we are putting on the Dana White bald cap. We are sitting down at the war room, we are sitting down at the table, and we are pulling out the roster, and we are crossing some names off. We're making some phone calls, we're releasing some individuals, we're unemploying some fighters is what we're going to be doing. I am going to be doing what the UFC is incapable of doing properly, which is decide who does and doesn't belong on their roster. Now, I'm probably going to do a follow-up video with fighters that they should bring back and unjustified releases. And especially, I'm going to bide my time on that because the timing of this video is pretty perfect in my opinion. Because I think if I did this 2 months later, I don't think I would have the same amount of people that would need to be cut, because we're getting around to that time of year. Contender series, it's probably the best time of year other than like the main summer, where you're getting like it's this kind of like June onwards month. Like June, back half of the year has always been, I know the second half starts in July, but like June onwards, the last 7 months of the year have typically always been the best, with the exception of like usually September's pretty mid. That's a pretty consistent thing, but Contender Series has always been a consistency through August till October, really, and it starts next Tuesday, kid, let me tell you, is badass. So what usually happens when the UFC does Contender Series is, because they've abandoned the format of what they used to, where it was like, you really had to impress to get a contract. Now, if you just win and it's not fucking terrible to watch, like if you, God forbid you finish your opponent, you're getting signed immediately. And even if you win a relatively dominant decision, you've got like a 75% likelihood to get signed. And even if you fucking lose, if you lose a competitive scrap, you have like a 70% chance of either getting signed then and there, or getting called up within the month to make your UFC debut on short notice, probably before your opponent actually gets their first UFC fight in. So, the UFC typically, when they do this Contender Series, is what I was getting to, they make a lot of releases, because they're about to fucking sign like 50 guys or 40 guys and girls on 10 and 10 or 12 and 12 contracts. And so they do have some roster space to clear out, because as overcrowded as the UFC roster is regardless, I think they know that, because they do want to get all these new guys, these new Contender Series prospects, they want to get them out there and promote them and put them on all these cards. They know that kind of means they have to get rid of a bit of the filler, because like you see a lot of Apex cards through like, you know, February, March, April kind of. We've had less this year. They have toned them back at like May especially. Those first like 4 months of the year, first 5 months of the year, you get a lot of Apex cards. And that's a lot of filler a lot of the time, and we got these back-to-back cards in August in the Apex, a lot of filler, a lot of guys who really don't need to be on the roster. So yeah, basically, long-winded way of saying I'm cutting a bunch of fucking guys from the roster. Some of these are more harsh than others, and I'm not saying these are all the fighters I would cut. Like, this is not like I'm scraping the edges of like what could be considered reasonable or not. Like, dude, I could find another fucking 50 fighters that kind of shouldn't be in the UFC, and I don't think anyone would complain. But I am still keeping a few of the bums around, you know. The roster can't function without just some absolute cans to be crushed in some aspects. But anyway, let's quit yapping, let's get into the video. 75 fighters are losing their jobs today, if you ask me, and I can just send out the termination checks, the pink slips, you know. Anyway, let's get into it. So, also, I'm going to be fucking skimming through these, bro. Like, do not expect me to spend long on this. Felipe Bunez, you're out of here. Daniel Perez, you're out of here. Mitch Raposo, you're out of here. Now, Flyweight does not have a lot of cuttings, a lot of releases that I would make, to be honest. Bunez, you haven't won a UFC fight. Oh, no, you have. You did beat Jose Johnson, but I don't care. You suck. You're like 35. You're not a prospect. If we're cutting guys, you got to keep it even. And also, I'm not. That's why I'm not cutting many flyweights. You'll notice I cut a lot more of every other division. The flyweights are pretty safe in my books, you know. There's not a lot of bum flyweights on the roster, really. Like, there's guys who lose fights, for sure. But they're not full of just straight cans or guys who are like 2-7 or some shit in the promotion. Like, Ode Osborne's another one. If he loses this weekend, probably getting the walking papers. He is coming off a KO win though, so that's the thing. Ode Osborne seems to always be on a 3-fight losing streak and then just win when he needs to avoid losing his job. Yeah, Daniel Perez, I think he won like a fight, but he's not good. He's also 35. My thing with flyweights here is like, let's cut, like, there's the guys who you kind of feed, like, you're not cutting a Cody Durden. You keep Cody Durden around. You keep Bruno Silva around. Even though they're guys who aren't the best, they're guys who clearly are not going to, like, I'm not trying to cut every single person on the roster who I think's not going to win a belt. Because otherwise I'll just cut, like, 200 fucking fighters, like 300 fighters. But what I'm doing is just cutting guys who I don't view as particularly useful in terms of gatekeepers. I don't view as guys who obviously have much future longevity. Like, what are we going to do? We're going to give these guys 3 more fights each. They're going to then be on a more expensive... I'm thinking the UFC's way. Like, they're going to get a few more fights. If they win 1 or 2 more, they'll be on the next UFC contract and shit. Like, I'd rather just get these new guys in off Contender. I'd rather just get in more of the Loner Kavanaughs of the world and just get all these sick prospects rather than, like... Yeah, we gotta make way for a fucking Daniel Perez spot on a fight night card. Like, no, we can do better. We can do better than that. Anyway, let's move on to the Bantamweight division. Bantamweight division, Vince Morales, you're gone. I'm just gonna say the names and I'll talk about them at the end. Alatunghae Lee, you're out of here, kid. Goodbye. Next up, Ricky Tercios, this fucking goober. I don't need you in my company. Rani Yaya, I'm pretty sure he's already cut, but yeah, you can get on up out of here. Toshiomi Kazama is fighting this weekend. I'm just preemptively cutting him because he's going to lose. AJ Cunningham, you might be friends with Bryce Mitchell, but you're a dog shit fighter, mate. Get out of here. Douglas Silva de Andrade, old head, fucking no use for you, kid. Get gone. Simon Oliveira, you took 2 years off and then came back and fucking got butchered, so you can fuck off. Chad Anheliger, I swear, I thought I saw a thing pop up of him fighting some regional bum in like a few weeks, but Cameron Smotherman, yeah, you can go. So those are my bantamweight releases. That's 10 bantamweights, right? For instance, I just looked at, this is on rankingmma.com, so they might not be updated. Some of these guys might already be cut. I don't know. But what I've noticed here is, what's it called? There are 75 quote-unquote active bantamweights on rankingmma.com, and there's like another 5 odd, like a Christian Quinones and a Ronnie Lawrence and a Frankie Simon. I don't think these guys are still in the fucking company. Like Angel Pacheco. I think these guys are released. They just haven't updated it. So, assuming all 75 of these fighters are still on the roster, I've just cut 10 of them. So we now have 65 fighters on the roster. There's still a few more that you could go through, like a Chris Matinho can go. Nathan Fletcher's a guy who probably doesn't need to be in the company anymore. Like Gaston Bolaños, you know, he is Joe, but I don't know how much use we have for him in the company. I know he's coming off a win over Gaston Bolaños, like Quang Lee. You can go. Look, if we're being harsh here and we're being brutal, we're cutting everyone. Like, I'm not opposed to cutting a few more. Like, I'm not opposed to cutting Cody Gibson, Garrett Armfield, you can get up out of here. Ramon Tavares, like, a few guys. Like, I'd cut a few more if I had it my way. I would have no more than 50 fighters active in every division, except lightweight. Lightweight's the only division where you look through the rankings and you're like, yeah, this isn't just complete filler. And I'm not saying, because like, and this is like, oh, but we can't fill the, yes, you can fill the cards. Because there's all these dudes who fucking haven't fought in like a year. And all these guys who fight like once or twice a year. It's like, we could get a few more of these guys active, bro. My thing. And also, have more of the fighters in the good divisions. Like, Bantamweight I consider a relatively good division. So I'm okay with having some more Bantamweights. But like, some of these old motherfuckers just do not need to be here, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we do not need, like, 90 fucking middleweights on the roster. We do not need, like, 75 welterweights on the roster, bro. Like, they're just shit. So, yeah, that's what I'm kind of do here, is cut, again, just BUMS, guys who really don't bring much value. Like, some of these dudes might be fun-ish. They might get in a scrap from time to time. But they're not guys that are going to make an event. Like, they're not guys that's like, yeah, we're going to have a rough card, but we're going to go out of that being, hey, you remember that Toshiomi Kazama fight, bro? Like, you remember that Cameron Smotherman fight? Like, No one's gonna care if any of these guys go. In the comments, let me know if I've disappointed you, or if your day would be ruined if you woke up and saw the roster release, the roster tracker, and it said fighter removed one of these guys. Let me know once this video is concluded. List off all the guys who you would be devastated to see leave the sport. Anyway, let's move on to the featherweight division. Featherweight, Dennis Bazooka is first up. Next up, we got Roberto Romero. You can go. Another fighter that should be cut, Khan Offley. Didn't even win tough. I don't know why the fuck he was signed. Next up, Ricardo Ramos. Just getting guillotined. You're retarded. You can fuck off. Next up, Lucas Almeida. I believe that's all I've got for featherweight. I don't have a lot of complaints with featherweights. Like, featherweights is a relatively good division. Like, again, like Western, I'm trying to be nice and not cut guys off wins for the most part. I just realized I missed a few. Like, we could cut a Fernando Padilla. Like, Darren Elkins, I feel like you don't cut Darren Elkins. I feel like that's a mutual respect thing where you just say, hey, can you just announce your next fight as your last? We won't cut you, but let's just make your next fight your last, and you can have a fucking Anthony Smith pity retirement promo. Like, that's what we can do there. Like, Andre Fili with a loss is probably a guy who could not need to be sticking around, you know. What's it called? Who else we got? Like, how many featherweights are there? It's saying there's 66 active featherweights on the roster right now. Like, Jia could probably go. Like, Muhammad Yahya, John Yanis, like, I couldn't even, like, load a picture of him to even put here, but he can go. What's it called? Muhammad Yahya's another one who's 0-3 in this fucking UFC, but also he's fun as hell and he gets whooped well and it's just amusing. So I'm honestly inclined to keeping him around. Like, there's a few guys, like, you don't want to cut, like, the one bottom of the barrel guy. Like, you keep a few of those guys around to just take CTE damage and just lose. And just be the highlight reel KO guy for the debutants. Because, like, the debutants, like, you don't want Vallejos coming in and there being no bad fighters at all and he has to debut against fucking, like, Chepe Mariscal. In a very winnable fight, in a fight I'd probably pick him to win, but it's like, you don't want these guys coming in and having tough back and forth scraps in their debut and being like, damn, is he all that? Like, is he really good? It's like, well, yes, he just had to fight, like, the 20th best featherweight in the world. So it's like, you do need some layup kind of guys. But featherweight, I looked through the rankings on rankingmma.com. It's not an overly dog shit division. I'm going to do my own rankings, like, in completes. Like, not just top 15, like, complete every fucking person signed on the roster right now, active, competing. I'm going to rank them all for each division and keep track and make that a weekly thing that I update. We know we got the fan rankings as well. But anyway, let's move on. Next up, lightweight. Now, lightweight is the deepest division in the sport. It's the most quality division in the sport, but also it's got 88 fighters that are called as active right now. We do not need 88 lightweights. Lightweight's great. We can get rid of a few of them. So I've got, I believe, 16 fighters to get rid of for the lightweight division. So let's get underway with that. So, number 1, Victor Martinez. Again, half of these guys might be cut. Next up, Jai Herbert. Fucking Leon Edwards 2.0. You can get up out of here. Yanal Ashmuz. Yeah, fuck off. Israeli. Get out the company. Darius Flowers. Fucking Ashmuz is probably literally just being kept because of Oro Emanuel. Damir Hadzovic. Yep, you can go. I don't even know why the fuck you're still signed if you are. Kurt Holobar, up out of here. Again, random bums off tough. I think he won, but whatever. Joaquim Silva. Joaquim Silva's booked to fight Claudio Puellas. You can both leave, honestly. Gage Young, made a debut, had a decent fight, but I don't really need you in the sport. Rolando Bedoya, fucking can. You can go. Austin Hubbard, again, didn't even win tough. You can fuck off. Jamie Malarkey, yeah, just fucking random bum Australian, just Volks training partner. You can go. Alex Reyes, have you won a fight? You can leave. Mitch Ramirez, punching bag. You can go. 3 TKO losses to UFC fighters, no wins. Claudio Puellas, as mentioned, you can go. We don't need you. Kyle Prepolak, you survived the marauding of BSD for a round, and you can leave. And then last up, Sadiq Youssef is the take that might be a little bit controversial, but we do not need Sadiq Youssef in the sport. They're probably paying him a decent contract as well. Like, I don't want to get rid of just all guys on 12 for 12 or like their second contract. Like, that is going to be most of these guys because, again, they all suck. But, like, like, I could say, like, if I'm being, like, harsh, let's take a look through. Like, let's cut some more names, right? These are guys who I'm kind of giving benefit of the doubt because they've had, like, one fight. Like, Michael Aswell, Mark Choinsky, Mateus Camilo, Cody Steele. These are all guys that are coming off a loss, but it's, like, their only loss in the UFC, really. Who are some other guys we can cut? You know, like Tafik Masayev just lost his debut. Like, he can have another shot. Like, Gabriel Green's another guy you could get rid of. Borshev's another guy. Again, if we're really being harsh here, you can get rid of a few of these guys. You can get rid of, like, what's it called? Loic Rajdabov. You could, like, he can go. Trey Ogden, you can go. Rafa Garcia, you can go. Like, I'm looking at these names and it's like, who would I not miss? Like, the highest I could go with it that would be like, yeah, that's a bit iffy, but I don't hate it, would be a Thiago Moises, who is currently 8-7 in the UFC and has been doing really nothing but losing. Like, he has the win over Trey Ogden earlier in the year, but, like, KO'd by Jared Gordon's a rough look, so I wouldn't even mind seeing them get rid of Moises. It feels weird because he's just, like, a mainstay of, like, the unranked lightweight division. And he's just on everyone's notable wins list for literally every single fighter. Notable wins, just down the bottom, is just Moises, like, but like 40 people have done it, so is it really that notable? I wouldn't mind that either, you know. Anyway, that'll fucking Michael Chandler, get him up out of here. There's a few guys, you know. Lightweight, you could definitely trim down to like 70 fighters, like 60 fighters. Like, we got 88 right now. I think I could find 20, like, I've named like 16 odd, plus another, like, we could, I'm telling you we can get rid of 30 lightweights, and we wouldn't feel anything. Anyway, let's move on. Welterweight division, we apparently have 70 active welterweights. I'm cutting like 17 of them, I believe. Nico Price, number 1, Court McGee, number 2, you're gonna notice a theme here. Alex Morono, if you haven't noticed the theme already. We're going to continue with the theme, you know. Gilbert Urbina fighting this weekend. He's going to get chinned. Next up, Chaos Williams. You can go. Don't need you. Gustafsson owns your black ass. Song Kanan. Fuck. I could have just left that part out. But Song Kanan, Kiefer Crosby. You can leave. Why are you even signed? Carlston Harris. I know, sticking back on that theme from before, which if you haven't picked up already. You know, Daniel Frunza, don't know why he got signed off Contender Series. He's mid. Reese McKee boxed you up. Max Griffin, more sticking along with this theme. You know, next up, Mickey Gall. Surely Mickey Gall's cut. He's still showing up as active on ranking.com. But Adam Fugit, you can get up out of here. Next up, you know, Basil Hafez, you can go. Your claim to fame is making JDM look mid. Tim Means, you can go. Again, sticking to that theme, you know. Ponzi, still sticking to that theme. If you haven't noticed the theme already. Preston Parsons, you can go. Lesser on the theme, just not very good. Zaleski Dos Santos, back on that theme. And then, yeah, that's all for welterweight. So, if you haven't noticed the theme here with Court McGee, Nico Price, Alex Morono, Tim Means, Zaleski Dos Santos, etc., etc., yeah, the theme is, let's fucking get rid of all these 40-year-olds. Let's get rid of all these legitimate senior citizens that are occupying the fucking rankings that we do not need. Like, I'm sorry, bro. I've just looked through welterweight. Like, I'm just, like, let's list some more if we're being harsh. Like, Francisco Prado, you can go. Jeremiah Wells, you can go. What's it called? Let's see, who else can we get rid of? Nikolai Varetnikov, you can go. Charles Radke, he's based, but if we're looking just pure fighter-wise, can probably go. Like, who else can we get rid of here? I pretty much covered it. Like, I wouldn't... Let's get rid of fucking Temba Garimbo, bro. They had Ange Lucer until recently. He got cut. At least they've done that. Who else are we looking at? Like, Chidi and Joe Kawani, honestly. I know he's only coming off one loss, but get him out of here. There's a few guys for sure that we could cut at welterweight, and I wouldn't really mind at all. So yeah, that's the theme there. Like, we just don't need all these literal senior citizens. Like, you could keep a few of them. Like, if you have your choice between, like, all those old heads that I just mentioned, I'm not going to list them off again, but, like, pick a few of them to keep around. Like, who would you miss? No one's missing Court McGee. No one's missing Tim Means. Like, we could keep Ponzi. I don't mind the idea of keeping a Ponzi, you know, keep him around. But, like, all these other guys, it's like, bro, we don't need you. Like, keep a Dodo Bird, keep a Nico Price. But, like, everyone else is just dog shit. And it's like, all the other ones, no one's going to miss Gilbert Urbina. No one's going to miss fucking Preston Parsons. Like, it's just increasing the quality. Because, like, that's the thing. I don't mind if we get 3 cards less a year because of this. Like, I'm sorry, but am I wrong for saying I don't mind if we get 3 less Apex cards a year? Because all these fighters I'm cutting are all the filler on Apex cards. I'm not cutting pay-per-view mainstays. I'm not cutting fucking Kevin Holland and shit. I'm not cutting all these guys. I'm not cutting prospects. I'm not cutting, like, all these, like, hyped up names. I'm not cutting ranked fucking fighters, 7-1 Martin Badai, even if he's dog shit and just boring. But, like, I'm cutting just bums who are going to be the filler for Apex undercards. Like, if we don't do this, you already know we're getting another Zaleski Dos Santos main card appearance. You know we're getting that. You know we're getting a fucking Preston Parsons versus Gilbert Urbina Apex featured prelim. Like, if we cut 4 cards a year, but then make everything else quality, and all those 4 cards are Apex cards. So we get, like, 4 Apex cards in the entire year. No back-to-backs. We open the year with, like, you get an Apex card in February. You get an Apex card in, like, April. You can get an Apex card in fucking, like, May or June or whatever. You can maybe, like, 5. We'll say 5 Apex cards a year. Instead of, like, 10, which is what we would be getting. 10 or 11 or 12. But, like, we're not getting just dog shit undercards because of all these bums. Like, we're getting rid of these fuckheads. It's just going to drastically increase the quality of the sport. And you're not going to just be sitting through slog, dog shit, fucking Court McGee, Michael Chiesa, Ole fests at range, doing fuck all, and then doing a, like, clothes swap afterwards, like they've just gone to war, bro. Like, seriously, let me know in the comments. We cut 100 fighters from the sport. Like, I could come up with another 25, no problem. We cut 100 fighters from the sport right now. We get rid of 4 cards a year, they're all Apex cards. And then instead, it's just like every single card is just like 12 or 13 or 14 fights. We get none of these dog shit 11 fight fucking random Apex cards. It's just all solid. And then, like, the worst, you'll get like 1 or 2 fights a card where it's like, yeah, I can't say I'm interested. With this now, it's like I look at this weekend's card and I'm just like, okay, even if we're not including the women's MMA, I'm not interested in like 80% of this card. Like, we shouldn't have that, and that would happen if we got rid of all these bums. So anyway, let's move on. Middleweight, 63 active fighters apparently. Ozzy Diaz, first to go, kid. Get your ass out of here. Antonio Tricoli. Yeah, buddy, I don't know why the fuck you got signed. Nick Klein, you can go. That fucking last performance was absolutely disgraceful. Why'd you get signed on Contender? Trayshawn Gore, you can go. Fuck out of here. Darren Till looking motherfucker. Andre Meniz, another slightly controversial one. Oh, we don't need Andre Meniz. Eric McConaughey. He's fighting this weekend. I don't know why. He got randomly signed on short notice to fight Ruzabov on a fight that he wasn't even cancelled. And now he's just fighting Brundage for no reason. Jordan Santos. Robert Brychek. You can fuck off. Why are you fighting Tavares? Eric Anders fighting this weekend. He's not even coming off a loss, but I don't want him in the sport. Cedrikas Dumas, fucking absolute disgrace of a human. You can go. Dusko Todorovic, this fucking Sneeko looking motherfucker. Why is this guy looking at me like Sneeko, bro? And that's it for middleweight, bro. Middleweight, 63 fighters. How many did I just cut? I don't even know, like 13 odd or something. We don't need more than 50 middleweights, bro. We don't. Like, again, let's do the thing where we be harsh. Like, okay, we're being harsh. How many can we cut? Alright, Tricoli, Valentin... This isn't everyone I listed, by the way, but this is guys who just no one would care if they left. Tricoli, Valentin, Medina, Santos, McVeigh, McConaughey, Klein, Todorovic, Loda, Diaz, Gore, Nordiev, Reese, Brundage, Dumas, Eric Anders, Marc-Andre Burial, Dustin Stoltzfus, Rodolphe... Nah, you don't cut Vieira, never mind. Malkoun, Petrovsky, I don't care about either of those two, they can both leave. Like, that's like 20 fighters. I shouldn't be able to name 20 fighters on your roster, or like 15 fighters on your roster in one division. Not just 15 on the entire roster. Then you can be like, alright, you're cherry picking. I can name 15-ish out of 65-ish, 63-ish fighters. that don't belong in the UFC, and I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me. Like, maybe you could say, yeah, like, Brundage can stay. Like, fucking Valentin's fun, he can stay. But in terms of quality and skill level, does anyone look at those guys and see a noticeable difference between them and just your local bums on your regional shows? Like, you don't, because there's not. So, like, again, my point proven, we don't need all these fuckheads. Like, if I really did a full list, like, I've just cut 15-ish from middleweight, I could cut 25 lightweights. I could cut... And this isn't just draining the sport, like, this isn't just draining the company either. Like, because a lot of these guys are only fighting once a year anyway, or they're just on Apex cards. But, like, I genuinely think I could cut 150 fighters. I cut 75 in today's video. I think I could double it. Double it easily. And it wouldn't be like, oh, you've got 5 unranked fighters. Like, with heavyweight, like, there's, like, 20 fucking fighters in the division. like, if you like, Taliesin Teixeira's still ranked, I think. Despite a 1-1 UFC record. Because the division's just that ass. Like, I put up a fan rankings poll, and it's like, okay, who should, like, rank these 3 for the 13, 14, and 15 spots? And it's like Petrino, Rizvan, Mick Parkin, and, like, someone else. And they're like, bro, no way you really said Petrino should be ranked. And I'm like, hey, feel free to fucking tell me who should be ranked over him. This division sucks. Like, you want Thomas Peterson in the rankings, bro? You want Hamdi Abdul-Wahab? You want Mo Usman? Like, go ahead. So that's my point. Like, I reckon we can cut, like, 5, 10 flyweights. I don't want to cut many flyweights. Like, I could cut 5 flyweights. I could cut 15 bantamweights. I could cut 10 featherweights. I could cut 20 lightweights. I could cut 20 welterweights. I'll cut 15 middleweights. I'll cut 10 light heavyweights. And I'll cut 5 heavyweights. Quick maths. I don't know what the maths is there, but that's over 100. I know for sure. And don't even get me started on all these random unranked women's bums who just suck. Like, well, we're not even talking about women's in today's video because, like, it's just whatever. They're all shit. But yeah, if we really want to stop the slop Apex cards, we need to really focus our energy on cutting a bunch of the women's fighters. Anyway, though, let's move on to the light heavyweight division. Light heavyweight, I'll list the names of Ibo Aslan. You can go. Why are you still signed? Marcin Prachnio, you can go. Why are you still signed? Who's next? Bruno Lopez, you can go. Dustin Jacoby victim. Next up, Rafael Sequeira, why are you still signed? You've been chinned twice in a row. DR Nurgaje, you can fuck off. Seriously, this division sucks. Ivan Erslan, you can also go. Well, and also, all these guys are getting booked, bro. Like, why? Junior Tafa, fuck. This is my main fucking point here. Junior Tafa, get out the sport, you fucking disgrace. Why are the Tafa brothers still both signed? Both of them should be cut. I'll talk about Justin in a second. Fat fuck. The Tafa brothers piss me off. If you watched the channel for a while, you know I hate the Tafa brothers. Those two piss me off. They both look like the most, like, spud-like fucking retard spastic individuals that go down to the pub just to, like, start some fight with some random bloke and just act like they were acting like he was, like, staring at him or some shit and just, like, sucker punch some dude. These motherfuckers are king hitting dudes in the back of their heads at clubs. For sure. Like, actual scumbag looking human beings. But light heavyweight, 36 fighters on the roster. Like, I've kind of cleaned it out there. Like, you could go Billy Elakana, you could go Taco Tacos, you know, they can probably head up out of here. Rodolfo Bellato, you know, you can probably get out of here. But light heavyweight's that shallow that there's not a lot to get rid of, to be honest. But honestly, like, I wouldn't complain if light heavyweight was 25 fighters. Like, just cut 10 of them, honestly. Anyway, that'll do it for light heavyweight. Just shit human beings. Terrible fighters, dog shit fighters. DR Nurgaje missed weight by fucking 5 pounds. You're fat at light heavyweight. What are you doing? Anyway, yeah, that's it for light heavyweight. Let's move on, though, to the heavyweight division. This is my main, like, there's not many to cut, but heavyweight's where I really have an issue. Let's get there. Anyway, heavyweight division, Austin Lane. Honestly, I'm kind of tempted to keep him around just for the highlight reel KOs, but Hamdi Abdul-Wahab, you can go, you fucking fat individual. Lucas Bershke, you're like 1-6 in the sport. How are you still signed? Sean Shariff, fucking Taco Tacos looking motherfucker. Second evolution, bro. Justin Tafa, the other Tafa shit, brother. The other fucking absolute blob, disgusting human. And then the last one is Tai Tuivasa. Now, this is where we have an issue. Because fighters who have been cut recently from heavyweight this year, You know, we've had the release of, again, so Rosenstrike, he got cut. No idea why. Martin Badai, 7-1 in the UFC, 6-1 in the UFC, cut. Not sure why. Don't quote me on this. It might have just been because he popped, in which case, if they released him fair. They cut De Lima, I think, or he's just suspended, so he's not in the rankings. But apart from that, there's like, I think, because he's not in rankingmma.com, so I think Marcos Rogério de Lima might be gone too. He's a guy that, he's the only, by the way, he's the only guy in the UFC to beat Waldo Cortez Acosta, by the way. Now, if we're being harsh again, so now Uran Salty Baldiev is cutting to light heavyweight, so if we're taking him out the rankings, we have 31. I've just cut 6. That gets us to 25. Can we get this to 15? Can we cut 10 more of these guys? Okay, let's think. So, we've cut. I've cut. So we're down to 25. We can get rid of Elvin Hines. That's 1. I don't actually have an issue with just getting rid of Buchecha. He's dog shit. That's 2. Chris Barnett. That's 3. You keep Pinto. You keep Rizvan. You keep Pinto. You keep Rizvan. You keep Taliesin. You keep Petrino. Thomas Peterson, you can go. That's another one. So what do we got? We got Peterson. We got, so, cuts. Sheriff, Hines, Lane, Burski, Buchecha, Tafa, Barnett, Peterson, Hamdi, Muhammad Usman, that's another one. Tai Tuivasa. That's 11. That's 11. and then Uran's gone. So we're down to 20. If we're being realistic and we're not caring really about anything, I'm okay with getting this division down to 20 fighters. So it would just be the rankings. Like, it would just be the rankings, and then it would be, no, because, hang on, because it's champion and then 15. So that would mean there would be 4 unranked fighters. Oh my god. Let me make sure I'm not messing that up, because this is hilarious to think about. Like, I'm actually okay with it. Would anyone complain? Like, would anyone complain if we just had, like, imagine you're the 4, you're a UFC heavyweight and you're not ranked, despite 90% of your division being ranked. That'd be crazy. But right now the rankings is Garn. It's Aspinall, Garn, Volkov. So it's 16 people technically ranked with the champion. So Aspinall, Garn, Volkov, Pavlovich, Blades, Almeida, Waldo, Tybora, Spivak, Lewis, Ty. Why is Ty number 10? He's 0-5 in his last 5 and isn't fighting until next year. If anything, he's 400 pounds. Gaziev, Parkin, Teixeira, Walker, Rizvan. So the only unranked guys left would be, with my proposed mass culling of the blobs, would be Ryan Spann, Janata Denise, who he could probably go as well, to be honest. But like Spann, Denise, Walker. Oh no, Walker's ranked. Sorry, Spann, Denise, Petrino, and Inzedriku would be the only 4, and like Pinto, I guess, as well. So we got like 5. So we're basically, and I don't even care to keep Denise, honestly. Like, he can go. So if we're being real, we could get this down to like a 20-person division. I'm all for it, honestly. Anyway, guys, that will do it. Point proven. We need to fucking just cut half the roster. So let's think about this logically. Let's add this up, bro. I'll get my fucking calculator out, bro, just so I don't mess this up. Let's figure out how many fighters just in the male divisions we can realistically cut. I'll check out the female divisions in a sec. The women's divisions, I should say. So, we got, I'd say, so 7 plus, let's go to, so I reckon we can cut down to 25 heavyweights. We can get rid of 7. UFC light heavyweight division. How many light heavyweights can we get it down to? I'd say we can get down to like 30 light heavyweights. We cut 6 of them. And that's generous. Like, I could cut more. I really could. UFC middleweight division, let's check them out. They've got 63. I'm thinking I can cut 13 comfortably. And again, I could do so many more. Like, believe me, I could do so many more. UFC welterweight rankings, let's check them out. There's 70. I'm cutting 20 of them. I don't care. Let's get rid of 20 welterweights. UFC lightweight division. How many lightweights are we getting rid of here, boys? We have 80. I'm getting rid of, no joke, 28 lightweights. Do I go 28 or 18? Fucking 28. I don't care. A lot of these guys suck. 28 light. No, that's harsh. All right. 18 lightweights. Featherweights. Let's check it out. 66. I reckon we can get rid of 16 featherweights. Get it down to 50. UFC Bantamweight. And I'm talking like comfortably without starting to scrape away some of the quality. Like, this is just the pure no quality. We got 75. I'm thinking we can cut 15 Bantamweights. And then Flyweights. And then I'll look at the women's divisions. Flyweights. Let's check. We got 43. I think I can cut 8. So we'll go 8 flyweights. And then we'll head over to women's. UFC women's bantamweight rankings. Women's bantamweight is dog shit, so we can cut a lot of them. Because seriously, like, we need to free up some roster space and just get rid of some of this dog shit. So we got 26. Let's cut 6 of them. That's without even looking at any of them. UFC women's flyweight rankings. Let's check it out. We've got 27. I think we can cut 7 of those. Get that down to a 20-person division. I feel pretty good about that. And then UFC strawweight rankings. Strawweight's not as bad as the other two in terms of the unranked area, but we have 40 strawweights. We can cut 10 of those easily. 15. Cut 15 of them. Equals. That's 131. That's 131 cuts, releases. And that's me being generous. That's me being like, yeah, you can stick around for a few of them. Like, I could have cut like when I say we can cut 150 fighters and you wouldn't feel a difference except for pure, just better quality, I'm not joking. I'm being serious. I'm not. I'm not fucking laughing. Like, I'm not laughing. Like, this is, I'm dead ass. Like, we can cut 150 plus fighters and you wouldn't feel a difference. Like, the quality of the sport would not deteriorate at all. Anyway, guys, that'll do it. Like, subscribe. Who are some other fighters that you'd like to see cut? Who are some fighters that I mentioned here that you say, oi, left lane, shut the fuck up. I love this guy. He's a banger. He brings good fights every time. Keep him around. Let me know. Maybe I'm being too harsh. But anyway, goodbye. See you later. Someone forward this video to Dana White. He's like, listen, kid. More 10 for 10 contracts? Yeah, I like the way this kid thinks. Anyway.